As an underdog, you don't let those things cloud your mind. You can focus in on the task at hand. When I was growing up in London, I had 3 choices to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a failure. And I ended up at business school. Every week we had CEOs, entrepreneurs, celebrities coming to speak and share their stories. And I was fascinated by how people went from nothing to something. And one week I was told that this monk was invited. And I actually said to one of my friends, I said, I'm only going if we go to a bar afterwards. And it changed my life. And it just got me hooked. So I spent all of my summer holidays from 18 to 22, aged 18 to 22, half of them working in the finance corporate world in suits and driving cars in London, and spending the other half living as a monk in India. And when I was 22, I decided to turn down my corporate job offers. You can't be in another state. So you can't be angry or sad or disappointed when you're being grateful. So every day I'm trying to plant seeds of gratitude, and I recommend doing it the first thing you do in the morning, but even more importantly, the last thing you do before you go to bed. Because when you do it before you go to bed, you wake up with gratitude in the morning. So it programs your mind to be grateful the next day.
When you're striving to become successful, you need to make sure that you are constantly in a stage of wanting to improve whatever it is that you're doing. No matter how hard or how difficult that may seem, you need to make sure that you want to be better than you were the day before. Because if you keep that mentality every single day, you're going to learn something, you're going to grow in ways that you never thought possible, and you're going to figure out that life has a whole lot more to offer than whatever it is that you're doing. Because if you're trying to grow every single day, you're going to learn things that are unexpected and find yourself in situations that you never thought possible, because you're constantly striving for improvement and constantly wanting to learn something new and grow in ways that you never knew possible, and trying to get rid of those habits in which have hindered your life every single day. Try to find a way to get around them and do something new in which will benefit your life instead of hinder it. Don't do anything that's going to self-inflict pain now or down the line, because you want to make sure that you are getting the most out of life now and when you're older, because you want to put in all the hard work, time, and energy now so you can kick it and relax later on in your life when you want to relax and you don't have to work, and you want to use your success to the most of its advantage. So always be on the search for how you can self-improve your life and figure out how you can grow in ways that are just truly incredible. No matter how hard or how easy they may seem, you should try to attack them with the equal amount of excitement and joy, because you know that it's going to make your life easier and you're going to be more excited to wake up the next day and improve.
When you're sitting here going, this needs to be number one, you are that thing's ability to be number one. So that's the difference maker, that you can want to be number one, there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't keep comparing what number one is to someone else's goal too. Like, there are some people that are kind of come in and do really well at one thing and you're going to do really well at another. The challenge is, we think things come with emotions. And guess what? They don't. So if you chase money, I don't think they even do such a false sense of feeling. When you think that I'm chasing money, guess what? You will get money. And that's great. Money is really important. But guess what? Money's not now gonna fill that gap, that void, that feeling, that emotion that you're missing in your life. We're missing a deep sense of love. I think the biggest need in the world, as we've heard many times before from all the ancient texts, they summarize it like this: to love and be loved. Like, that is the need of humanity. To love and be loved. And when we don't experience that, we then start looking for status. We then start looking for money. We then start looking for recognition. How many of you have a crazy dream or a crazy goal? The dream that keeps you up at night is the real dream you should be chasing. But to chase that dream, to find that dream, to make that dream a reality, you need a strategy, right? A dream without a plan is just a wish. Right? Without a strategy, without a guiding philosophy, without guiding principles. I used to have this economics teacher, and I want you to think back to school as well. Maybe you had one. I remember this economics teacher. He walked in to the classroom, and the first thing that he wrote on the board, he didn't even tell us his name. We didn't even know who he was. And he turned up, he went inside the classroom, but on the board he wrote, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And now when I look back at that, and as I grew up and hopefully became a bit more mature than I was in high school, I remember thinking about that statement. I'm thinking, how true is that? That when you're not prepared for something, you miss out unbelievable opportunities. Now, I'm not saying good things don't happen spontaneously. Sometimes things happen by chance, randomly, etc., with a reason. But when you're prepared, you can capitalize on things in a huge way. How did I buck the trend? I was really fortunate that very early on I started to experiment with what mattered to me. Sometimes that got me in a lot of trouble. What people don't know about me is that I was suspended from school 3 times for trying out all sorts of things, like things that people would never imagine of someone who goes on to be a monk. I was experimenting with all the drugs in the world. I had multiple relationships. I was really trying to search for some sort of meaning, fulfillment, and for as long as I've known, I've been chasing thrill. I really value thrill. And he spoke about this incredible principle where he said that we should plant trees under whose shade we do not plan to sit. And he was speaking about this principle of selfless sacrifice. He said the words, selfless sacrifice. For the first time in my life, I felt a thrill about something that I'd never felt before. I thought, wow, giving up everything you have for the service of others sounds like the best thing you could possibly do.
So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section down below.